3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Crew 616 podcast. Today, Crew 616 is going to do a little chewing on probably the most important question since we wondered what the meaning of life was. And the question
42.
is... No, the question is not 42. The answer is 42. The question that we're going to talk about today, like I say, the most important question is, who was the best Batman in the films? And we're including Adam West in this conversation simply because Batman 66 does exist as a film. So I'm here with Ryan, RJ.
Hello.
And with Bill.
Hey, how's it going?
And I really don't know where we want to start on this. Who wants to sort of dive right in?
First of all, nice of you to join us today.
Well, thank you very much. Yes,
as if we didn't cut you out.
Sorry, I have a freaking life.
As if we didn't cut you out and you didn't come.
You lie. You do a podcast about comic books on the internet with us. You don't have a life.
Okay, fine. I don't have a life, but I do have a job.
A little behind the scenes, it was kind of funny. We have our group chat, and Dan gets home and is like, "Oh, right, give me 10 minutes, I'll be ready to record." And we're just like, "Sorry to break it to you, but we've already recorded." So.
Oh, that's great.
Apparently, he never read the back
I
messages where we discussed it.
I never really got time, so.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but today I'm here.
We're all here to talk about Batman today. Who is the best Batman?
And just, I think, to sort of qualify before we go too far, the Batmans we're going to be referring to, I'm not actually that familiar. If you look at the picture in front of you while you're listening to this, you'll see there's 9 of them. There's the original TV Batman, who's the actor's name eludes me. Same with Batman and Robin. Both were serial Batman, and yeah, I don't know either of them. I don't know the serials at all.
They're
So,
pretty
I
much
haven't
excluded
seen
from this
those either.
conversation. Yeah, there's some.
I think they technically count as movie Batman, but it wasn't like I was going to chase down old movies just to probably not like them more than the ones I'm familiar with.
fair enough. So we're going to... Sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
I was just going to say there's some other aspects. So Dan has seen the Batman movie. Bill and I have not. So Robert Pattinson might be a great Batman, but Bill and I can't really comment on that much.
I'd say he's still eligible for the discussion if Dan wants to claim him as the best.
Yes, he's fine to bring up. It's just Bill and I won't really have anything to come back with.
Okay, so I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll set some parameters right away. Obviously, Adam West, Michael Keaton, Val Kilmer, George Clooney, Christian Bale, and Ben Affleck, I think, would be the ones we're going to be focusing on since you guys aren't familiar with Pattinson's version.
I mean, I'd put Pattinson in there.
You can mention Pattinson too.
If you want, sure.
Because I've heard he's excellent, and it is the most recent one, so he is topical. It's not like we're ignoring movies from 50 years ago like we are with the serials.
Yeah, no, it's fine to still bring them up.
Okay, we'll bring him in then. So we'll start with Adam West and go right up through to Pattinson. And this is going to be really, really hard because I'm not sure who wants to dive in first because you just know whoever does is going to get chewed up and eaten alive.
I mean, I think that's going to happen for whoever picks George Clooney, so.
But you know what? Okay, I'll go first. How's that?
I am really curious about who your pick is. I think I know, but I'm really curious to see if I'm right.
Okay, first of all, I was really, really torn. I was. The two that I thought played the best Bruce Wayne, hands down, the two that played the best Bruce Waynes were Val Kilmer and Christian Bale. As far as playing Batman, it's a whole different animal. I thought Ben Affleck was brilliant, and I thought Robert Pattinson was brilliant.
See, I knew you were going to throw Robert Pattinson in there at some point.
Yeah.
That's why I kept pushing for him to be included, because that was my guess for what your pick was going to be.
But a lot of that with Robert Pattinson is based on the fact that the film is an incredibly strong film. It's a really well done movie. It's probably one of the best DC's ever put out. So, he's being carried through that film just on great directing, great visuals, everything, great concepts. So he could have probably pulled an Edward Cullen and just kind of sleptwalked through the whole thing and still would have been considered a great Batman. And so I think he did a great job, but he had everything going for him.
Yeah. But I mean, he still has to show up and deliver, because there are plenty of movies that have everything going for it, and then the lead actor shows up and does a piss poor job, and it takes the whole film down.
Kind of like George Clooney.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to land solidly on Ben Affleck. I thought he was the best Bruce Wayne / Batman of the bunch, personally. Okay, that's me.
I mean, I'm not going to tear you apart that badly for that one. I think Ben Affleck was surprisingly good as Batman.
He was shockingly good. I came out of that movie absolutely gobsmacked at how good he was as Batman. I did not see it coming.
Before the Snyder Cut, I firmly considered him to be the best part of that movie.
Oh, he was, no question. But I mean, it was just such a surprise. I really wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I think that was part of it, that my expectations were so low for him. Most of the others, I had expectations. But Ben Affleck, I was looking at it, and I'm like, they cast Ben Affleck? That's going to be shit.
Yeah.
The problem, the problem with me and Ben Affleck is that I pretty much only have the Batman Superman movie to go off of him, because the last DC movie I've watched was Wonder Woman in 2017. So,
lucky you.
Yeah.
See, when I said that movie, I was thinking of Justice League, but it applies to Batman and Superman as well.
Yeah, no, I knew you meant Justice League. I
unfortunately finally finished that movie. It took me multiple attempts to actually make it through it.
But, I finally made it through Rise of Skywalker. Took me about 6 tries, but I finally did it. But we're not talking about that right now. My number 2, which is the controversial one, I think. My number 2 favorite is Val Kilmer.
Holy shit.
I thought Val Kilmer did a fan-freaking-tastic job. Yeah, I think he's the most underrated of all of them.
I'd agree with that. I mean, I'll put it out here right now that I think they're all pretty legit picks, except for Clooney. And honestly, part of Clooney's problem was the sheer
weight of the crap he was stuck in.
That's what I was going to say. Like, just some of the directorial choices in that film.
Oh, my God.
I mean, full disclosure, it's the only Batman other than the Batman that just came out that we're discussing that I have not seen in its entirety, but I've seen enough clips and am familiar enough with that movie to still be able to discuss it. And there were choices made with that movie that I don't think anyone could have salvaged.
Yeah.
There certainly were choices made.
There's so many bad choices. I mean, and it's funny because I wasn't fond of Chris O'Donnell, full stop. Just, no, not the best Robin. But I thought Alicia Silverstone had the potential to be a good Batgirl. But they never really followed through.
If she had a good script to work with, she definitely could have played a good Batgirl.
Yeah, they never gave her anything to work with.
I think she was probably the most talented of the 3 of them.
Oh, absolutely. No question. No question at all. But now we got to go diving over to Ryan. Who's your favorite actor as a Batman? Or favorite Batman actor? Come on.
It's pretty much
there.
If you need to think a little more, I can go, and you can all shit on me for being a normie poser in this one, and then move on. Because my favorite is Christian Bale.
I knew that was coming. That's pretty fair, though. It's fair enough.
It's the safe choice, but I don't know. I think he... and a lot of this is also the film around him, because the first 2, I think, really captured the dark atmosphere of Batman more than anything since the 1989 one has. And
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I really was not fond of Christian Bale's version of Batman.
And for me, I can't really separate the actor's performance as Batman from the film as a whole.
Yeah, yeah. And it's funny you say that because that's exactly what I did do with Val Kilmer's Batman.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Val Kilmer was never in contention. I think he's underrated in his role, but the film was disappointing enough that he couldn't be my favorite Batman.
That's exactly how I feel.
Okay, because I thought that Val Kilmer, who I personally think is an excellent actor, certainly when he was in his prime, he was brilliant. But he was sort of squaring off against Tommy Lee Jones, hamming it up for all he's worth, and Jim Carrey, hamming it up for all he's worth.
Yeah, and that really dragged that film down
right,
to the point that...
It did. It turned it into a sitcom.
Yeah. And so that kind of took it out because, like, when I say the best Batman, what I think of is the best presentation of Batman as a whole, not just the actor's performance in a vacuum, but how much did I enjoy watching this person play Batman?
Okay, which again is entirely fair. And I did really enjoy watching Val Kilmer play Batman. But he was kind of like Ben Affleck, I thought, when they first said, and I was thinking a blonde Batman? What the fuck? But I came away from it going, okay, he was way better than the rest of them in that version.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And then my second choice
here we go.
Second place, Adam West.
Ooh, a traditionalist. And you know what? I support you in that decision, even though I don't...
The two opposite ends of the Batman spectrum are my favorites.
Yeah, even though I personally didn't put Adam West, at number 2.
Which kind of surprised me.
No, I think it's a great choice.
Once again, for me, it's very much the product as a whole.
Yeah.
Rather than just Adam West. Because in a vacuum, I'd say both my picks are fairly mediocre Batman. But when you consider the full presentation around him, and with Adam West, he's getting a boost from the TV show as well, because I adore that show.
Oh God, so do I.
But
and I adored the film.
The film was fantastic.
So much.
I loved the film, but I don't think he would have gotten into second place if it was just the film.
That's
don't
fair.
think he would have beaten.
We're not restricting ourselves too much on
89.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have beaten him if it wasn't for the TV show as well.
Fair enough. I think it's time to go over to RJ here, buddy.
Yes, now now you're trapped.
So the thing is...
No. Who's number one?
Number one is the man we just mentioned, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is my favorite. I love those first two movies.
Such a child.
I like Batman 1989 and I like Batman Returns. I find both those. I enjoy both those movies. I think he plays
block of Batman, he was the best one.
Yes, by far.
Sorry, Dan. He beats Val Kilmer.
I think that Michael Keaton made a good Batman. And the only other real option was Christian Bale, but I don't even really like Christian Bale's Batman, and I've only actually fully seen The Dark Knight out of the three movies. And The Dark Knight is carried by Heath Ledger's Joker.
Absolutely.
Fuck that.
I pretty much had to go with Michael Keaton.
The thing that pulled Bale higher than some of the others for me was the original movie of that trilogy. I think it's like Dark Knight's the best one because of Ledger. As far as Christian Bale, the best one is his best performance is definitely the first movie, largely because, as Dan points out, he's a better Bruce Wayne than he is a Batman, and he spends half that movie as Bruce Wayne.
Yep. Okay, that's a really good point. I'm glad you made that point, actually, because they've got to play both characters, and
yes,
I think Michael Keaton did a good job of playing both. Adam West was just Adam West with a mask on. But he was Adam
Yeah,
West,
but he's
so it doesn't
playing
matter.
the camp. He's playing the campy comedy version. He doesn't need to have any sort of gravitas.
Yeah, Ben Affleck, I think, brought a sense of wonderfully wry sarcasm to The Dark Knight that I thought was missing with Christian Bale.
That's fair too. Yeah.
Right.
He did. Christian Bale, once he became Batman, didn't really convey the bitterness.
No, he didn't. I mean, it's not that. How do I explain this? There's a scene in one of the Christian Bale's movies where a bunch of pretend Batmen try to take down a group of bad guys.
Oh, I know exactly what scene you're talking about.
And Batman has to come in and help, and they say, well, why can't we do it? And he turns to me and says, because you're wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, because I'm not wearing hockey pads. They ask him how is he different, and he goes, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, I'm not wearing hockey pads. You got to say it right. And it's like...
I'm not doing that voice. I respect my throat too much.
And I just cannot help. It's that one pivotal moment, this brilliant line, and his delivery is pathetic. Whereas if Affleck had delivered that line, it would have been so well delivered.
Yeah, because he'd almost be making fun of himself while he said it.
Bingo. But Affleck as Batman, delivered some excellent lines. And some of it was fairly wry, some of it was fairly funny, and of course, a lot of that's obviously due to the scriptwriter. But his delivery was so good as Batman. Then, when you saw him playing Bruce Wayne, he brought an incredible gravitas to Bruce Wayne that I didn't get from Christian Bale.
Yeah,
that's why Bale's number 3 instead of number 2 or 1.
Yeah, the big thing that keeps Affleck for me out of contention for the top 2 is, like I said, the surrounding product, because those movies are so bad.
They really are. And can I just say that I think, personally, just as a personal opinion, Affleck was the best freaking thing about Justice League.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Even in the Snyder Cut, he's probably the best thing about it.
Oh, he is, in my mind.
Yeah.
I came away from, because I never liked Ben Affleck. The only movie I'd ever seen him in that I liked him in was Dogma. Pretty much every other movie he was in, I just wanted to punch him in the face. But he came into this film.
All I keep thinking when I see him is that he's going to screw you in a very uncomfortable place, like the backseat of a Volkswagen.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ryan's too young to get that joke.
But, he came into this film with, zero credibility. Not just as, a potential Batman, but as an actor as a whole. Because
even people that thought he was good thought he used to be good.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody expected him to be able to do anything. And he brought a level of believability, I guess is what I'm looking for. Believability to Batman that you just weren't getting with Christian Bale. When I watched the Christian Bale movies, it was, oh, look, it's Christian Bale in a Batman suit. I didn't really feel that way when I saw Affleck playing Batman. Right? Affleck delivered some great one-liners. Right? He did them in a wonderfully dry way. But his interactions with, Gal Gadot and, Wonder Woman, etc., as Bruce Wayne was fantastic.
Yeah, with him, I just, he'd be my favorite Batman in a vacuum. But I just can't take away from how little I was enjoying those movies.
Yeah.
You left out an important factor when it comes to Ben Affleck too, in terms of reputation and stuff, with the fact that the last superhero movie he had done was Daredevil, and a lot of people were holding that against him and didn't have any faith that he could pull off any type of superhero.
Here's the thing: he was the best part about Daredevil too.
Yeah, I think
it was another dog shit movie that he did a surprisingly good job in.
Whatever monkey cast Colin Farrell as Bullseye needs to be shot. just they need to be drummed out of Hollywood.
I think it's the same guy that designed Galactus from Fantastic Four.
Could be, because it was
That's
horrible.
a joke, but it's equally bad.
He was just horrible. Right.
Yeah, and I love him as an actor, but that role
he's a great actor.
That
but
role was just god awful.
it was just not the role for him. I mean, Jennifer Garner did a passable job as Elektra. You know, I thought she was okay.
That's being kind to her. Jennifer Garner is a great actor as well, but oh my god, her Elektra was terrible.
Yeah, she did a passable job, in my opinion, considering what she was working with, I guess.
Okay, I'll concede that.
Because that script for Daredevil is so bad. Oh my god.
The only three-dimensional element of Elektra was her actual appearance.
Yeah. Funny but true. So what we're looking at now is all three of us picked a different number one. Right?
I saw that coming.
Yeah, we need Ryan's two.
Yeah, what's your number two, Ryan?
Oh, fuck.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, what movie did he play in?
I guess... Damn it. I don't really have a number two. Honestly, I kind of probably have to... It's a question of do I overlook the movie or
I would say overlook the movie because I've been doing that.
If I overlook,
but I haven't been. So really, whichever way you watch movies.
If I was defaulting, I'd probably have to go to Christian Bale. But in terms of, I can make an argument to give my number two to Ben Affleck, even though I fucking hate the movies and don't even love the full character direction. But he does a good job with what he's given. So
yeah, he does. Right, far better job than they had any right to expect.
The thing between Bale and Affleck too is I'm working with one movie each essentially because I've only watched Dark Knight for Bale and then Batman Superman for Affleck.
That's still legitimate. Yeah. Adam West only did one movie. Val Kilmer, George Clooney only did one movie. Robert Pattinson's only done one movie. So one movie's legit.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm almost like when I pick Christian Bale, I'm kind of ignoring the third movie because I hate that movie and don't watch it.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the third film.
I saw it once in the theater, and I rewatch Batman Begins and Dark Knight fairly regularly. I have never rewatched the third one.
I've tried to watch...
But it's such a great movie.
I was born in the darkness.
Yes, Tom Hardy is one of the major reasons I don't rewatch that movie. I friggin' love Tom Hardy, but that movie was his role there. He was cast by the same guy that cast Bullseye.
Yes, he was. Absolutely.
I've never made it through Dark Knight Rises. I've tried to watch it like 3 different times. I've never gotten past like 20 minutes, maybe, if even that. It might be 10 minutes.
I think if I hadn't paid movie theater prices to watch it, I probably wouldn't have made it through it.
Can I say something that's probably going to be very unpopular, but I'm going to say it out loud, and I expect if anybody actually listens to this, I'm going to get my butt slammed. I think one of the most pivotal reasons the Dark Knight trilogy is so popular isn't Christian Bale. It's Heath Ledger.
That's not...
Where's your hot take? That's like
not
the
a hard
most
take
cold take existing.
Well, I've said that before and gotten slammed for it. But I think Heath Ledger...
Were you slammed by the same people that agree with you that Thor Ragnarok is a bad movie? Because those people have no tastes and can't be trusted.
Yeah,
it is a bad movie. You wait till you see Love and Blunder.
I'm confused as to how Love and Thunder being good or not would have any bearing on my enjoyment of Ragnarok, considering the Dark World is already in that trilogy.
Oh, God. The only thing about Dark World that I liked was Christopher Eccleston, and he played a horrible character.
Yeah. The Dark World is easily the worst Marvel movie.
Oh, please.
By that, Bill is saying MCU.
Yeah, MCU. Let's clarify. There are plenty of worse Marvel movies, such as Spirit of Vengeance, in which no person involved had watched Ghost Rider, including Nicolas Cage.
Okay, let's go back to your just in the MCU comment so that I can respond with, oh, please. But we're not talking about MCU right now. Let's not do this.
We start that next month. Stay tuned.
We will be talking for the next 6 hours. Well, I have to explain to you why you're wrong. But this is really, really interesting because we've hit just about every actor except obviously Clooney and, of course, Robert Pattinson, because you two haven't seen the film. But Clooney obviously goes right down to the very bottom of the list.
Oh, obviously, that's why
Kerplunk.
he's been the punch. That's why he's been the punchline for all my bad Batman jokes.
Oh, he's just so bad. Right, I mean, the movie's horrible to begin with.
Yeah.
But he's just terrible.
I'd argue that movie is actually worse than Batman vs. Superman.
Okay, I can see an argument for that. That's fair. Because, although, to be fair, Batman vs. Superman was shite.
To be fair,
I'm not claiming Batman vs. Superman was good. It's just, it at least had a direction it was trying to go in.
Yeah.
Whereas the George Clooney Batman could not decide if it wanted to be an Adam West style camp fest or if it wanted to be dark and gritty like the Dark Knight trilogy.
And it failed on all levels at either.
Of course, because it didn't know what it was doing.
it didn't commit to it either.
The
So
skating bad guys.
You've got to commit to a gimmick.
Batman and Robin is the worst movie
Strap on your
overall.
bat skates, Robin.
Batman and Superman should have known better in 2015.
Yeah, but at least it had an steady feel to it.
Okay, let's go
That
to...
feel was of painful monotony, but it had a feel.
Yep. But let's go to two of the most iconic scenes. Okay, Adam West, Batman 66. He's climbing down the helicopter ladder. And
I knew that was it as soon as you said Adam West.
Robin sort of hangs down and hands him the bat shark repellent. That is iconic.
See, Ryan, we're getting shark movies in here.
We are. We're getting shark movies in here. Poor shark.
For anyone that happens to listen to this, me and Dan love bad shark movies.
They're so fun.
And Ryan refuses to watch them.
Because he's a wussy. And he has no taste in movies. Did you know that Ryan didn't really like Big Trouble in Little China that much?
Okay.
Oh, well, now we're just burying them.
Come on.
Anyway, let me finish my point. Okay, there's that iconic scene from the Batman 66 movie. You know, the shark repellent, the bat shark repellent. Okay, there's an iconic scene from Batman and Robin with George Clooney, where he and Robin click their heels together and skate blades come out. Okay, both are breathtakingly campy moments in the films. It works in Adam West. It fails horrifyingly.
That's not even the most horrific attempted campy moment.
Oh,
Need I remind you that the bat... Need I remind you that the bat credit cards exist?
Which one was Bat Nipples?
That's that movie, but it wasn't a scene. That was a mistake throughout the entire film.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I mean, Robin comes across as Peter Parker doing nothing but standing around whining. Right. You know, and it's just...
So to clarify here, in case you don't listen to our comic podcast and only the movie stuff, he doesn't mean actual Peter Parker. He means Dan's perception of Peter Parker. There's a fair difference there.
Yeah, I have taste.
Dan is a professional hater.
Haters gotta hate. Tay-Tay was right, baby.
At least you got the right artist this time.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, so George Clooney is the worst. Who's next on that list? Closest to him?
It'd either have to I
think...
It has to be...
I'm sorry, but I think we have to say Val Kilmer.
Yeah, it'd have to be Kilmer, or just because the movie surrounded him, or it'd have to be Adam West because he only has the one.
Oh, no.
It can't be Adam West.
It can't be Adam West.
Well, Bill's the only one that has Adam West in the top two, so that's why I was saying that.
Yeah,
I'm thinking, here's my logic. It can't be Adam West because he's Adam West, and we all agree he's good.
Adam West rules.
It can't be Christian Bale because that was one of the most successful trilogies of all of the Batman movies, and we all agree he at least did decent at it.
He was okay.
Yeah, we all agree he's at least decent. It can't be Ben Affleck.
We've all complimented him.
Because we've all complimented him. And I personally feel it can't be Michael Keaton as the second worst.
Okay, yeah, you see, this is where I'm stumbling. Because I was not.
I'd put Michael Keaton probably right above Kilmer, but I don't think he's worse than Kilmer, and part of that is just that the movies he was in were better.
Well, okay, the movies were better, but and I'm not going to try and justify this because I know you two are just going to shout me down, but if I had to pick a number 2, I would pick Michael Keaton, like second worst or second last.
All right, Ryan, it's down to you as the tiebreaker. Keaton or Kilmer?
Well, I mean, Kilmer. The hard part about this is we're doing this as a group.
Or do you have another nominee for second worst?
Hypothetically, if we're doing this as a group, a contender is technically Robert Pattinson just because you and I haven't watched him. But
that's
also unfair.
Really, yeah, everything I've heard about Robert, and honestly, even without having seen him, everything I've heard about Pattinson's Batman puts him above both Kilmer and Keaton.
Yes.
If I'd seen the Batman by this point, I have a feeling with everything I've heard that Pattinson would probably be my number 1 or 2. But I haven't seen the movie.
Yeah, so I can't and I kind of feel the same way. So I can't justify putting him as the second worst.
Maybe what I should have said is judge them based on 10 stars.
If I was doing this list myself, it would go Clooney, Kilmer, West, Bale,
working up, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bale, Affleck, and then Keaton. That would be mine.
Oh. Wow. Bill, you want to take a shot at it?
I said Keaton was my favorite.
Yeah, here's how I'd rate it.
From worst to best.
And I'll try to go with your tendency of rating based on quality of performance rather than which one I enjoyed the most.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Because that's the criteria you two seem to be using. So I would say Clooney.
I used movie for mine pretty much.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
would use Clooney, Keaton, Kilmer, Bale, Pattinson, West, and then Affleck.
Okay, that's actually, you know what, you and I are very, very close.
I love Pattinson on mine.
Because mine would be Clooney, Keaton, Bale, and then this is where it gets interesting. Then West, Kilmer, Pattinson, Affleck.
I should have excluded West on mine because I haven't seen any Batman in '66. I don't know why I'm even
You
rating.
haven't seen it?
16?
No, I've told you guys.
I've got the whole
before.
series, dude. You should have said something. I've got the
Well,
whole
I was
thing.
going to, but
I'll make sure you get to watch it.
You need to watch that show and
I
God.
just rated Adam West higher than Kilmer and stuff because it's Adam West.
Now I understand a little more why you were so down on Adam West, because I couldn't figure out why you're so negative about Adam West.
Because he's Adam West.
I should have excluded him I should have excluded him like I excluded Pattinson on my list. It would have been
Okay, that's fair. Now, taking Pattinson out of the equation just for a minute, because I don't think it's fair to him or to the conversation for you two to be trying to judge him when you haven't seen the film. And
that's why I took him out of my list.
Yeah, right. I personally think Affleck was the best Batman. End of story.
And you know what? If we're not factoring in movie quality, I'd agree on that.
Yeah. It's movie quality.
Because when I say...
then it gets weird.
When I picked Bale and West, it was more of a general how much I enjoyed watching those films.
Yeah, if we're sticking to pure performance and not based on movies, then Affleck actually might be... He might be the top one. He might be. It's hard to call. Mine is... I've been going partly based on movie as well, so...
Yeah.
Affleck's been my exception to the movie rating.
Yeah, and honestly, if you had asked me for that list before we had this discussion, Affleck wouldn't have been as high as I put him.
Yeah.
He would have been up there, but he wouldn't have been top of the list, but Dan kind of talked me around on that one.
Yeah, fucking silver time.
Now, here's an odd question that you probably weren't expecting. Who had the best Batmobile?
I don't remember those enough. I remember like
look
the
at the
one,
picture
but I don't know.
that everybody's looking at when they're listening to this.
Where is it?
I feel I can answer that without having even seen the movie, but just I got to say Pattinson.
He's number 2 for me. Adam West's Batmobile is just so iconic.
I got to zoom in on
It's iconic.
I love that car so much still.
Yeah.
If I owned one of those, I would drive it everywhere.
Yeah.
My God, Kilmer's and Clooney's Batmobiles are even bad.
Oh, they're terrible. Their Batmobiles were horrible. Clooney's was just pathetic.
Those 40 ones are actually kind of great for their time.
Yeah.
Bale's was cool. Affleck's was cool. But,
see, I don't...
But
see,
they weren't...
the Bale's Batmobile was one of the weaker elements of that film for me. Because it's just a military bridging device painted black.
Yeah, that's fair.
The other Batmobiles...
Are
even
actual
the bad
Batmobiles.
ones are actual Batmobiles. That's just a fucking tank that he bought.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with a surprise and pick. My favorite Batmobile is the fucking Adam West one.
Thank you. Finally. We agree on something.
I can't fault that decision. It's not my favorite, just because I really like the homemade look of Pattinson's Batmobile.
Pattinson's Batmobile is excellent. Just hands down excellent. But
yeah, but I also... Adam West would be my number 2. So I think we can average that out to it's the best Batmobile.
Yeah, I love Adam West's Batmobile.
I
always will.
It's what people picture when they think of the Batmobile too.
It is still.
Excluding non-comic fans that have only seen the Dark Knight trilogy because it's so famous. Those people don't count, but people that actually know Batman.
It's so perfect for its time period.
Yeah, if you ask someone to picture the Batmobile, that's what they're going to think of.
Yeah. And even today, you go into a comic shop.
There will be a Batmobile.
There'll be an Adam West Batmobile for sale somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we all worked in a comic shop. That's how we know each other. And there was 2 of them for sale.
Don't know if we should admit that, but yeah.
Well, no, but it's just kind of just for anyone
who's told the story before.
I know, I'm just joking.
But for anybody who's wondering how we knew each other, because we are sort of an odd group, but we all worked in the same comic shop, and that's how we got to know each other, and that's how we started having these odd conversations about movies and comics and all kinds of stuff. But yeah. Adam West Batmobile is just so iconic. It's so cool. Right? Even today, if you were to drive that around, people wouldn't be going, what the hell is that? They'd be going, oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, where'd you get a Batmobile?
Yeah, where'd you get that? And they would know what it is.
Yeah, even if they've never seen a single Batman film.
Yeah, they would know exactly what it is. Right. And
it's one of the most iconic vehicles out there. I'd put it right up with the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Back to the Future and Bond's Aston Martin, the DB9.
I'd put that one substantially lower just because there have been so many Bond films over the years and he's gone through so many different cars.
He has, but he goes back to the Aston Martin DB9.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think he goes to a DB7, the newest one.
Yeah, but just like also the look of them have changed so much over the years because of course cars have new models every year.
Yeah.
Whereas the Batmobile and the DeLorean.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a look that you don't need any knowledge of cars to know of.
True. Now, here's just a completely out of the blue, completely off topic question. Who's the best James Bond?
I can't.
Have you
I'm out of the discussion.
You haven't seen him? Craig?
And that's based entirely on the strength of his performance in Casino Royale.
Okay,
because
you know what? You win. You win. Yeah.
I've read the book, and it's so accurate to the book.
It is absolutely. I mean, I love Connery, of course, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Connery is up there. I mean, I'll be honest. I love all of the Bonds.
Yep, except Lazenby. Lazenby
was fine, but he was the weakest of them.
I'd argue David Niven wasn't very good either. David Niven's Bond for Casino Royale. Prior to the actual...
I don't really count that Casino Royale because it's almost like a parody of the franchise. Like, it's not really a Bond film in the traditional sense. But yeah, if we're counting that one, he's the worst.
Daniel Craig's Bond in Casino Royale is impeccable. Just impeccable.
Yeah, and he continues to play it well in the other movies. The problem is the scripts for the other movies are not very good.
No, they went downhill fast. Right, starting with Quantum of Solace.
Oh, God, Quantum of Solace was terrible.
Right.
It picked it up a little bit, and then it fell apart again. And then the last one that just came out during the pandemic, I haven't seen yet. And that's amazing because every other Bond film I saw, since I discovered Bond when I was like 13, I saw about 4 times in the theater, and that one I just couldn't be arsed to track down to watch because they had gone so far down the toilet.
Well, No Time to Die is a good movie. It's better than Quantum of Solace and Skyfall and the rest of them. It's probably the best he's done since Casino Royale. In my opinion.
That's what I've heard, but just like the other ones drug it down enough that I wasn't terribly motivated to watch it. I'm sure I'll rent it and watch it at some point because I do love James Bond, but it was the first time that I've seen ads and haven't immediately been like, I need to see this.
Yeah. But to go back, sidetrack.
There goes our James Bond episode.
But I mean, that's not going to happen unless you actually watch some of them.
Yeah.
Well, true enough.
You'd have to watch them all before we could have that discussion. But
or at least a couple of each Bond.
Yeah, but to go back to Batman, I am very curious to see what your guys' reaction is going to be to Batman when you watch it. Pattinson's Batman. I am very curious because the film is such a departure from what they've been doing so far. It's just a complete departure.
Is it all sung with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn?
Oh, don't go there. We're not talking about. We're not fucking talking about Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a disaster.
She's going to have to put in a performance about 10 times better than Affleck before I'm even going to want to see it.
I will agree with that, and I'm a Harley Quinn Mark who's probably going to watch that movie just because it has Harley in it.
Yeah, well, look, I love Harley Quinn too. I think she's a fantastic villain. But no. And I repeat, for the hearing impaired, no, not interested. I struggled so hard when I heard Affleck was going to be Batman, and I gave him a chance, and I walked away from it feeling stupid that I doubted him so much.
Yeah, honestly, the only reason I even watched that was because I thought Cavill would be a good Superman.
And he's not a bad Superman.
He's not a bad Superman, but he's nowhere near what Affleck ended up being as Batman.
Absolutely, Affleck just was fantastic. Just fantastic. Christian Bale, the only real problem I had with Christian Bale was there was no difference between Bruce Wayne and Batman.
I'm actually, and this is where I'll differ. That's kind of one of the things I like because, and they address it in the movie when Rachel says Bruce Wayne never came back.
Potentially, that's a potentially good point, except it works in my favor as well. It's just,
yeah. I'm not expecting to change anyone's mind with that.
No,
that was just my opinion. That I'm okay with the fact that they're basically the same person.
Yeah.
Because the movie even acknowledges that Bruce Wayne is effectively dead.
Yeah.
So
and to be fair, even George Clooney didn't have to go, "I'm Batman," like he had a rock in his throat.
So, kind of to break down Batman for a minute, I think Batman is one of the important part of Batman to a good Batman. And this kind of applies to comics as well. Like, I don't know if they've ever gotten this right in the movies per se, but Batman is the actual main person of the
Bruce Wayne is
Bruce
a disguise.
Bruce Wayne is Batman putting on an act.
Yeah.
And not the other way around.
And that's one of the things I like about Christian Bale's performance is when he comes back, he goes so over the top with the Playboy thing, like when he buys the hotel so he can swim in the pool with the models that he's got stacked up like cordwood in his Lamborghini and stuff. The whole thing's just so awkward and uncomfortable because he's pretending. He doesn't really know how to have fun like that.
Well, and I'm prepared to argue that because the difference is at the end of Batman versus Superman, when Clark Kent's asking Bruce Wayne, how did you swing it that you got the house back? He says, "No, I bought the bank," and it's just his delivery is so much better, right? And it's when Flash says, "What's your superpower?" And he goes, "I'm rich," right? There's no camp there. Right?
Yeah.
It's effortless. His delivery is just effortless.
Yeah.
And I just felt like Christian Bale,
Christian Bale's
right up to and
pretty
including
dry.
the horribly cheesy, growl in his voice routine trying to hide who he is crap. Right. It's like, oh, God.
You talking shit?
Are you talking to me? Or whatever the hell he was doing. It just got to a point where it was tiresome to listen to him growling at people. It was just like, oh, for God's sakes, right? It's not working. You just sound like an idiot. You don't sound like a superhero. You don't sound like Batman. You sound like a fool.
There's a reason other superhero movies have joked about, used that as a joke.
Well, yeah. Right. I mean, there's a reason Deadpool says, don't make my super suit green and don't make it animated. Right? It's a reason why Sheldon walks around in an episode of Big Bang Theory going, "I'm Batman." Right? It's just so bad. It's not campy. It's just bad.
So
that's what ruined it for me. That's what ruined those for me.
Yeah. We did throw around some ideas with this one too, where we were gonna kind of throw in there and quickly discuss some of our favorite films that have been played through the movies and stuff, and kind of specifically talking about our favorite Joker, of course, because that's the easy one.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's Heath Ledger.
It's
so
Heath Ledger
we're done.
Obviously,
it's Heath Ledger for life.
I don't think we even need to justify Heath Ledger.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree. Cesar Romero is the best. You're absolutely right.
Yes, Heath Ledger is incredible in The Dark Knight. I don't know if Cesar Romero is good or bad. I don't.
Cesar Romero is great.
He's fun.
As far as movie Jokers go, he's the second best because there are only 3.
Yeah, and he does have a lot of manic to him.
Yeah,
His
I
laugh.
like him.
God, I love his laugh.
I like him, but I like, and this is kind of cheating because I'm including a TV show, but I like Mark Hamill and Heath Ledger more as the Joker.
Well, that's where I was gonna give Hamill the shout out too. And I mean, Mask of Phantasm was in theater, so we got a little bit of cheat room there. But
I was just about to say Mask of the Phantasm.
That's right. I always forget that exists, which is weird because I've seen it. But
Mark Hamill, in general, Mark Hamill, I think is the best Joker.
And part of that is the same way you said in the group chat, Dan, that Cesar Romero was the Joker of your childhood. Mark Hamill was the Joker of mine.
And that's entirely fair because Mark Hamill belongs on the list in my mind. Right? You can't do it without him. In the same way that for all the talk about the Riddler, and we've got 3 of them to work with here, although you 2 haven't yet seen the Batman. Frank Gorshin.
What's the other one? Oh,
Frank Gorshin from the TV series. He's also in Batman 66.
Yeah, I clued in as you were saying.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, I would say, and this is kind of unfair because unlike Pattinson, where I have some level of knowledge, I don't know anything about the Batman's version of the Riddler, but of the 2 I'm familiar with, like, it's not a fair competition because Clooney, fuck, he's just getting into my head now. Carey was god-awful as the Riddler.
Oh, he was horrible. God,
And the saddest part is...
But Gorshin was actually really good.
Oh, Gorshin was so good.
Jim Carrey's the only Riddler I've got to see.
Wow.
Poor bastard.
Really?
I kind of going back to Joker for a minute. There hasn't really been that terrible of a Joker. I think
Nicholson's good. Like
I was gonna say Nicholson's really good.
I wouldn't even even though I consider him the worst movie Joker,
he's just been overshadowed.
Not counting Joaquin Phoenix in this calculation because that one's not really a Batman movie.
Yeah.
And even factoring him in because of his unreliable narrator status, I think Nicholson's probably the worst Joker, but I'd still say he's very, very good.
Okay, yeah.
It's almost unfair to name a worst Joker because all the movie presentations have been good.
Yeah, I give Jack Nicholson massive points for attempting to be the Joker in the first place.
Same here.
Because talk about a role that he was not built to play.
Yeah, that shouldn't have worked as well as it did.
Right, but it just, in my mind, it didn't work that well. It was like Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face. It just didn't, he put 100% of everything he had into it, and it kind of worked, but not well, to me. I thought Jack Nicholson, who by that point in his career was like Morgan Freeman now, just automatically gets the role if he's willing to take it.
Yeah. He gets points for being willing to be in a comic book movie in the 80s.
Yes.
Like, nowadays, comic book movies are a desirable thing to be involved in for a lot of big-name actors.
Yes.
They're mainstream.
Christ, we've got, like...
Chris Evans, who's been in how many of them?
I was going to actually go for, like, one of the more non-action famous actors and cite Idris Elba being in 3 of them.
I see Idris Elba as an action star myself personally. I've probably seen a lot more of his work than you guys have. Though.
That's fair, but
he's in Spirit of Vengeance.
Is he?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, I've blocked like 99% of that movie out of my mind because it was so awful.
It is horrible. It's so
I watched
bad.
it. All I remember is it was shit and a giant flaming mining machine.
I have to clear something up. Oh, what were you going to say?
Oh, the giant mine machine. Oh my god, that was so bad.
And it had so much potential to be awesome, and they fucked it up. It's
they
like,
really
how
did.
do you do that?
They really did. Anyway, the Ghost Rider movies, Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. I mean, there are a lot of Marvel movies where you had actors that you didn't foresee playing certain characters.
No, Dolph Lundgren, like, that's not someone I would think of as Frank Castle.
Yeah, but he was the first Punisher.
Yeah, and he was fine at it.
He was okay.
I mean, to be clear, when I say something's fine, it's like one step above actively bad.
Okay, fair enough. But it's kind of like Ryan's movie choices. It's fine.
Damning with faint praise is what it is.
Yeah.
It's
But
when you said that Jack Nicholson was the worst Joker, was that including what's his face?
Oh,
no, the one before. Morbius. What's his name? Fucking.
Oh, yeah, guy plays Morbius.
Why are we?
Why don't I remember him being the Joker? What was he the Joker in?
Suicide Squad. That's why.
Okay, no, I was not counting him because I completely forgot he existed.
Because he'd be the worst, right?
No.
I would say yes, but only because I really, really dislike the direction they took on that version of the Joker.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I needed to hear.
As far as performing the role he was given, I think he did better than Nicholson. I just don't like the role.
Yeah. I think there was an effort on his part to remove it from Heath Ledger. I mean, stop and think about, any actor being asked to follow in the footsteps of Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah,
God.
That would be a nightmare job.
I mean, the fact that he was willing to take the role to begin with.
Well, he is half crazy. So.
Well, he may be, but he's more than half crazy because I would not want to be the actor that had to take over from Heath Ledger. I just wouldn't.
No. And honestly, I think it was probably the best choice possible to just go in a completely different direction.
I just remembered his name. That's nice.
What's that?
Jared Leto.
Thank you. I couldn't remember his friggin' name.
Neither could I. I completely blanked on him.
I searched it up, then I didn't want to look at it, and then I just remembered it. So.
Okay, yeah, Jared Leto. No, I think he just he did the best he could under the circumstances.
Yeah, the circumstances just made for a terribly unsatisfying Joker.
A really bad film, trying to follow in the footsteps of an actor who one time turned this one-time role into something absolutely iconic.
One of the most iconic comic book portrayals of any character ever.
If we could, I mean, and you're probably going to die of shock from this, but I think the only other actor who's ever played a comic book character as well is Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
I would agree with that.
Right, Downey Jr. turned himself into Iron Man and Iron Man into him.
Maybe one more I would cite is...
Sure.
I can't remember his name at the moment. What's his face that played the original Superman?
Oh, Christopher Reeves.
Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, Christopher Reeves as Superman, I would say, is the other equally iconic superhero role.
I hadn't really thought about it, but you're right. That is actually very fair. Christopher Reeve.
I think it's Reeves.
Okay. I think it's Reeves with an S, yeah.
Yeah, he just did such a great job, and he did it with so much elan, right? His Clark Kent was hilarious. He had so much fun with it, and those movies, even now, they hold up. They hold up. I've watched them about 6 months ago. I watched all of them.
I've never watched them.
I hated the third and fourth ones. They were terrible. But I have a great appreciation for what he did. It was so much fun.
Yeah, and he really captures the feel of both Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah, and he's doing it with practical effects.
Once again, much like Batman, Clark Kent doesn't really exist as a person.
No.
Clark Kent is Superman wearing a disguise. And actors that play it well convey that.
Yeah,
and I think he did.
Yeah, I thought Henry Cavill did a great job. he's not Christopher Reeves, but I thought he did a great job of Superman for what he had to work with.
I think so. There, the problem is more the scriptwriter, because I
Yep.
don't think the scriptwriter really conveys that Clark Kent is a disguise.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But, I mean, we keep getting sidetracked from Batman, but...
I mean, we kind of picked this topic to be a rambling
we did.
topic. There's not that much to go on if we just stick tight to Batman.
Oh, I could give us something to talk about if you guys want.
Uh-oh. That's never good.
We, months ago, we had a little chat about an interesting topic, because I love Danny DeVito's Penguin and you guys don't.
No. No, Ryan, don't go there. Please don't go there. Please don't go there.
If you love Danny DeVito's Penguin, please leave a comment down below in the YouTube
Danny DeVito,
video.
But that was an abomination. That was an absolute
That might be
assassination.
That might be the single worst casting in a Batman movie. And I include Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze, in that consideration.
Okay, I kind of liked Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. I thought he was hilarious. But
I liked it, but it was terrible casting.
I hated what they did with the Penguin in that movie. I hated the way they portrayed the Penguin in that movie. And I hated the way DeVito played him. I absolutely just venomously hate the way DeVito played the Penguin in that movie. Oh my God, what were they thinking? Oh,
I don't know.
May as well have Pee Wee Herman as his father or something stupid like that.
I think the only reason Danny DeVito got cast in that role is because he's a short, funny-looking man, and Oscar Cobblepot is a short, funny-looking man.
Yes, and they did actually have Pee Wee Herman playing Oscar Cobblepot's father, just so you know.
Yeah, I got that reference.
Yeah, but no, oh my God, worst decision they ever made. Burgess Meredith was an okay Penguin. Okay. But
yeah, I'll be honest, I don't think there has been a good casting of Penguin. Meredith was good. Okay.
Yeah.
But there hasn't been one that I really feel captures the Penguin from the comics.
There's not. Nothing even close to what the Penguin was.
The Penguin's a hard character to capture when you think about it, though.
Well, I thought they did a fairly good job in Gotham. Which you guys probably aren't familiar with.
No, I've watched most of the first season.
Okay. Yeah, I thought they didn't do a bad job. I don't know who the actor was, but I didn't think he did that bad a job.
I used to know him. He was on another show I used to watch, I think.
But, oh my God, Danny DeVito's Penguin was just a fucking disaster.
What's his fucking name? I need to find his name now.
Yeah, he doesn't do a bad Penguin, I thought.
No, he's pretty good. He doesn't look it necessarily, at least at first. He kind
not
of
at first. No, you're right. He doesn't.
Robin Lord Taylor.
Don't actually know him, except as Penguin. And I thought he was okay. I mean, he's not breaking the bank on it, but I thought he did okay.
Yeah, there's nothing else I think that you'd recognize him from. Maybe... Oh, no, there is nothing else I'm seeing that I think you recognize for his, Accepted, Another Earth, Would You Rather. That's the other stuff he's done.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen Would You Rather.
I've seen Another Earth.
That's probably where you recognize him from. Right?
Yeah. Anyway, but the interesting thing to bring up, Ryan, all right, again, illustrating your lack of taste.
Yes, this is exhibit number 7,583 of why Ryan is not to be trusted on movies.
I'm starting to feel a little attacked here. Not gonna lie.
Well, you should. It's not like we're not.
Oh no, he was on Walking Dead. That's where I know him from.
Wow, and Wikipedia did not list that in his list of roles he's known for. That's hilarious.
I thought it was Walking Dead, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. He was a fill-in on there at one point, I think. Yeah, he was on Walking Dead. I went to IMDb. So.
I searched Gotham and just got the list of characters that Google gives you, and then clicked on his Wikipedia page from that just to see where you might know him from.
Yeah. But no, Ryan, that was a good attempt to insert your horrifying taste into the conversation.
I'm not the only one that likes that penguin. I know I'm not, so.
Oh, well, if you ever meet somebody, you let me know, and we'll get them help. A therapist, What? Sorry. For everybody listening,
How many people like Danny DeVito as the Penguin?
Okay, Burgess Meredith, we know. There's that guy from Gotham. I don't know of anybody else.
Wasn't Colin Farrell the penguin in the new one?
Who was the... Hold on a second here.
It's Colin Farrell. He had a ton of shit ton of fucking makeup and prosthetics on him.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Because I saw the clip where he went on fucking one of the talk shows about it.
I did not realize that was... You know what? That's really funny. I didn't realize it was Colin Farrell.
No, because he has a shit ton of prosthetics on. He's not recognizable.
Yeah, well... you haven't seen the movie, so I don't want to say anything. I don't want to prejudice one way or the other on it. Okay, I don't.
I don't know if he's any good in the role, but that's all I know.
Well, the film...
He might be a quick one-and-done film that they do. That wouldn't surprise me. Dan's biting his tongue.
I really am biting my tongue.
I know.
I was waiting for the pressure to build.
Oh, it's building. This is a hard way to deal with this. I'm not going to say anything either way. I really don't want to until you guys do see the film. I don't think it's fair.
You could say something was in the way of us talking about the film. Oh, that was a bad joke.
But
Dan,
But not as bad as Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Well, there's been worse. But anyways, do we have any other topic points for this one?
There hasn't been worse because Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn hasn't hit the screen yet.
Okay, there's literally never been a good Bane that has been on screen.
Okay, I won't argue with you on that one. There has not been a good Bane.
no, there hasn't. Oh my God. The Bane that was from the 80s
Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Batman and Robin. Who played Bane in that? I don't even know if he had a speaking line.
I think they just got some big guy and loaded him up with
makeup. Yeah, I don't know if he actually ever says a line. Other than...
They might have just grabbed the wrestler.
Who played Bane in that movie? Hold on. As I call up IMDb, it was Batman and Robin?
How do we feel about Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy?
Horrifyingly bad. It was just horrible.
We have...
There is one thing.
Jeep Swenson.
What?
Who?
Jeep Swenson.
He has a different name than
Jeep
I have.
Swenson.
Robert
Robert
Swenson
Alexander Jeep Swenson
There it
Jr.
is.
He's a professional wrestler.
I called it. I knew it.
You might remember him because he was also the Ultimate Solution in WCW.
I knew it. I knew that
and
before.
Yes, that is a Nazi reference, Dan.
Wow. That's horrifying.
Yeah. It didn't last long.
No, I think he lasted for like one pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And then they realized that because he was originally named the Final Solution, but they got too many complaints, so they changed it to the Ultimate Solution.
Yep. I knew that at one point.
Wow, I'm looking at the cast lineup for Batman and Robin.
Isn't it depressing?
And the only one, other than Pat Hingle, obviously, playing Commissioner Gordon, the only one who comes out of this with any sense of dignity is Alicia Silverstone.
Yes, pretty much. Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
Best Commissioner Gordon?
Gary Oldman, hands down.
Yeah.
Oh, not even a debate. What do you mean,
I don't really remember any of them, to be... Gary Oldman's the Bale one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll go with that, yeah. He was good.
Oh, dear
He's
Lord.
probably the best one.
Oh, dear Lord, my brain hurts.
I don't remember any of the ones, so... He's the only one I remember, so I kind of got to go with him. He was good, though. I mean, Gotham's Commissioner Gordon is good, but we're not here talking about that, really, so...
Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy. That was horrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad.
The worst part is she...
You know what I find possibly the most amazing thing about Batman and Robin?
The fact that it exists?
Second most amazing thing I find about Batman and Robin?
Okay, what?
How many fucking talented actors they had in that film, and yet it was so bad?
They had Alicia Silverstone. What other talented actors did they have in there? I must have missed it. Oh, the guy who plays Alfred was great. That's fair.
Yeah, Alfred was actually
Michael
good.
Gough was brilliant as Alfred.
Yeah.
Right. But Chris O'Donnell's a horrible actor. As evidenced by his career.
I'm not talking about Chris O'Donnell.
Okay. He's the reason there's never been another Robin.
Schwarzenegger's never going to win.
There has been another Robin.
Where?
Third Christian Bale movie. It was also bad.
Yeah, with that brilliant actor. What's his friggin' name? He's such a great actor. 3 names. I don't remember his name. He was in Third Rock from the Sun.
Well, that doesn't help me.
Of course it doesn't. Hang on a second, I'm looking it up. I can't remember his name either.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's an excellent actor.
I've never finished that movie, so I didn't even... His name's fucking Blake in the movie. What the... Who? Oh, I'm not... I don't know. You know what? There's not been...
He never puts on the uniform, but they refer to him directly as Robin at one point.
Oh, well, fuck off.
Because he mentions
the big reveal at the end that he's, like, actually Robin.
Yeah, because he gets the access to the Batcave and everything.
That's disgusting.
I hope he drives the car. Chicks dig the car. Sorry, I had to.
Should we even bother discussing who the best Catwoman is?
Oh, not until you guys have seen the new one.
Well, that's probably the right answer, but obviously the answer is Halle Berry.
No, obviously the answer is Lee Merriweather.
Well, I mean, I never
followed closely by
take
Eartha Kitt.
My favorite would be the why am I forgetting names today? Fucking Batman Returns version. There we go.
Oh, Michelle Pfeiffer?
Yeah. Michelle Pfeiffer is a respectable pick.
She's
for having not seen the Batman 66 series.
I never finished... Well, I haven't watched that, and I never finished Dark Knight Rises, so I'm not including... what's her face? Can't remember her name
Hathaway?
Either. Thank you, Anne Hathaway.
Okay, I'm a little torn, because I thought Anne Hathaway
I've heard
did
she was
a lot
good.
with very little.
She did do a lot with very little, but there was so little that it's tough to rate her higher than some of the more prominent Catwomen.
Yeah. But I didn't think she was bad by any stretch of the imagination. But, you know, I mean, she's barely in the film for a lot of it. She has some good moments at the beginning, but then it's like the writer forgot that she was one of the characters in the movie or something.
I've never even made it to her introduction.
And then they throw her in a bunch at the end just to, like, remind you that she's there.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really accomplish anything. She's basically just, much like Robin, just there so that they can say they have her there.
Yeah.
Except Robin actually does a little bit.
Well, and that's the thing. Selena Kyle does do some things at the start, you know, early in the film.
Oh, she's great early in the film.
But then she vanishes.
Kind of forget about her.
Like, she just vanishes.
I never even made it far enough in that movie to get to her introduction.
They do the whole breaking of the bat thing, and then when Bruce comes back, they've just forgotten she exists.
Yeah.
Oh, I will break the bat.
I will break the bat. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. Tom Hardy is such a great actor. And he just... Oh, my God. Oh, God. The Bane from the friggin' Harley Quinn TV show is better.
That's probably my favorite thing.
I mean, probably just about any character from the Harley Quinn TV show is going to be up there. That's why I haven't been mentioning it.
Yeah. Just for those of you listening, Bill has not yet seen the Harley Quinn show.
The biggest Harley Quinn fan of the group, too.
And it's so
Yes,
good.
but I'm also the one that's really bad about committing to actually watching television.
Yeah,
that's also fair. True.
That's also true. Well,
I don't watch any TV shows, so not watching Harley Quinn isn't unique.
Yeah. So we've been babbling about this for, what, an hour and a half now?
Hour and a quarter. But
hour and a quarter. So I think what we've come down on is Bill and I generally agree on Batman's, with sort of minimal...
One notable distinction.
Yeah, with minimal placement differences.
Well, we have pretty strongly different opinions of the merits of Christian Bale.
Yes, that's about the only thing we disagree on.
Yeah.
Ryan's opinions are irrelevant because he has no taste.
There wasn't that much differences between all. I had the Keaton, you had the Kilton. Bill's the most normal choices here.
Well, that's what I said. I have the safe normie picks.
Dan has the weirdest picks. In terms of, like, mainstream people and stuff.
I'd agree, but I'd say that's because half the mainstream people haven't seen those other films.
Yeah.
Part of what makes someone mainstream is not having watched the non-blockbuster comic book movies.
I hope Dan gets fucking flamed for Val Kilmer, even though his logic on it isn't bad.
I'm sorry. I really thought Val Kilmer did a fantastic job with nothing.
We both agreed with you that he did better than the movie around him and wasn't than what he had for material. So.
It's a difference between him doing great in a bad movie and Christian Bale doing okay in a phenomenal movie.
There's a difference between Val Kilmer and George Clooney.
Well,
what you could have said.
Yes. But we would have known that without either of them actually having played Batman.
Yeah, that's true. I really want you both to see the Batman. I think he will be pleasantly surprised.
Maybe if Crave wasn't so expensive, I would have watched it before this episode.
Yeah, it's quite good.
I think you can probably get it through YouTube. I might try to do that tonight.
Probably can.
I think you can now, actually. I do think it's available, yeah.
Maybe after payday.
Yeah, but we all agree on the Bat car.
Yeah, that was a pretty easy choice.
That one was simple.
We definitely all agreed on the Joker because there was only one choice there.
Yeah,
so,
and we all agree on the Penguin, except for Ryan.
I'm going to laugh my ass off.
Why?
If we get flamed for not liking the Penguin.
Danny DeVito's?
Because then I'll know that people who listen to our podcast also have no taste.
That's true. Although, in all fairness, anybody listening to this podcast, chances are they didn't have any taste before they ever clicked on it.
Yeah,
Or they wouldn't have clicked on it.
We could have inferred that before, but this will be our proof.
That's
I'm not
true.
above flaming back.
That is very, very true. But I'm actually glad we had this conversation because I think in a lot of ways it illustrates one of the strengths we've got in the conversations, the fact that our opinions are different.
Yeah.
And we're able to kind of bring up points that the other one may not either have thought of or is willing to, bring up. Right.
Yeah, this would be an awful boring podcast if we all agreed on everything.
True. That is true. Right. Kind of like Manchester United and their 0-2 start.
You're not going to get me this year. They've hurt me badly enough that you're no longer capable of hurting me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's entirely fair. Yeah, they've they just destroyed.
There comes a point where telling me that they're bad just doesn't hurt anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, I know I've watched every minute they've played.
Yeah, it's been a heartbreaking journey for you.
And I had no expectations coming into it, and they still managed to hurt me.
Well, it's so funny because when you started watching them, they were at the height of their powers. They were the team to watch.
Oh, so you're saying I'm the problem? Is that how it is, Dan?
Well, what? Did that you?
Well, you said
Did you
it,
not
but...
infer that? Because I can make it clearer. I'm sure I can.
No, they were already in decline when I jumped on. They've been declining since about 2008.
Yeah, Liverpool was
They
in
more.
the bottom when I started cheering them on.
Yeah, they've got some more. They got some more titles after that point, but the team wasn't what it was in the mid 2000s.
How the hell did we get here, by the way?
Because Dan tried to be hurtful.
I did.
Well,
I did.
That's
I really
very
did.
Dan.
And I'm not sorry for it. Because you guys were merciless to me during the preseason.
Yeah, that's fair. And hey, if you continue drawing next week or Monday now, I will continue to be merciful with you, or merciless with you, because you managed to draw the worst team in the league.
Okay.
And I'm a United fan. I need to take what I can get.
If we draw you guys, oh my God, I will die. That will be so humiliating. Although this probably be the game where fucking Ronaldo decides to pop 4 goals in again.
Oh my God, I would laugh so hard if that was our only win.
God, that would hurt.
Because the way we're playing, we don't deserve wins.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I think this episode's going off long enough.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we might want to get off this topic because I suspect that most people listening to a comic book podcast aren't terribly interested in sports ball.
I think it's safe for us to end this episode. We'll probably end up chatting a bit off air, but that's not for you guys. But join us next month as we finally cover the first phase of the MCU, which should be fun because we're gonna have opinions with that too, I'm sure.
I think that episode is just gonna be us bickering,
as opposed to.
Yeah, so MCU Phase 1 is next month.
Bickering's minimal when we cover one movie that we generally agree on.
Okay, fair enough.
September's episode. October's episode is special. We're gonna come up with a list of recommendations for horror movies to watch around the Halloween. So
I'd say Halloween movies because I know one of the movies I'm recommending isn't a horror.
Fair enough. A list of movies to watch around Halloween.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. Come back for these monthly specials. Come back for the Route 616 main show. And we hope you enjoyed this one. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe, comment, even share if you would like to. Anyway, guys, we will see you all later. We're on Google Play, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts as well. We will see you all later, and peace out. Bye.
Have a good one.
See you later, guys.